Silicon Valley's best and brightest stem the flow of wasted taxpayer dollars. At this hour, as we said, the biggest names in tech, including Google's Eric Schmidt, Amazon's Jeff Bezos, IBM's Ginny Rometty, all of these people are brainstorming together at the White House on ways to improve the government's severely outdated technology infrastructure. White House senior advisor Jared Kushner opened the tech event with this stunner of a money waster. Listen.
Until last week, the government was still requiring federal agencies to check software for Y2K compliance.
Y2K was 17 years ago. Tech guru and venture capitalist Eric Hippeau of Lerer Hippeau Ventures here in a Fox Business exclusive. I mean, that is a classic case of the not necessarily intentional, but fleecing of America. They're still on Y2K compliance?
Well, the best part of Y2K is that it was proven to be a complete hoax.
Right.
So for the government to continue to try to fix this hoax is unimaginable. Yes, look, there's an incredible amount of waste. Most of the systems, as I think Jared was mentioning, are 20, 30 years old. The FAA runs our air traffic control system on a technology that's 50 years old. So there is no question that we have to modernize. The question is do we have the will? And is there going to be a plan that is scalable and deployable?
Well, these guys are at the forefront of the latest and greatest ways to modernize, to update, but also when it comes to things like cyber hacks. You look at all of the government arms that have been hacked, everything from the State Department to the National Oceanic, Administration, the weather. People could hack the weather system, and then, of course, the OPM. I mean, that is stunning that all of these arms are so open to this kind of thing. How much can these people in this room at the White House change this and help the taxpayers save money and be safer? Well,
a lot. And the good news about all of this being antiquated is that it's not a question that you're just going to do a small improvement. You basically have to scratch. Most of these systems, you're going to keep the data, of course. You're going to have to send everything to the cloud. You're going to have to make everything mobile-friendly, user-friendly. It's very doable. Most companies are doing it. Why can't the government be doing it?
Well, a lot of these people in Silicon Valley haven't exactly stood up and cheered for President Trump. Everyone in this country is allowed to pick whoever they want for president or support whoever they want, except that when you see right now that President Trump is doing what it appears previous administrations have been unable to do, and that is bring all these minds together, but listen to them. I know President Obama invited a lot of tech CEOs. I spoke with many of them, and they said none of their ideas were really listened to.
The question is this a photo op or is this a real meeting? Is this meeting going to lead to serious discussions? If the administration is serious about listening to the tech community, it also has to listen to two key elements. One is immigration. Our industry depends on immigrants. There's no question about it. Now, we can do a job at training our own people to be tech workers, but right now we don't have enough. And the second thing is climate change. So there's no question.
Well, he's not a believer.
No, but it's give and take. Are you going to work with the technology industry? You're going to have to listen to them on this.
So some bartering in a way.
Absolutely.
Well, what about, as you talk specifically about some of those issues, when you think that the whole issue of floppy disks. I remember in the movie 16 Candles when the actor Anthony Michael Hall was trading floppy disks for favors. That movie was made in 1984. Floppy disks seem very outdated to me.
Well, completely outdated. Now, the good news about that, by the way, is that it's very hard to hack a floppy disk.
Well, maybe the government's smarter than we thought.
No, all of that has to be scrapped, and we have to start from scratch. No, that's the good news, is because we can build modern systems that are going to be cheaper, but more importantly, they're going to be more user-friendly so that you and the government will be able to work together in a more friendly fashion.
Elon Musk is a no-show because he's disagreed with the president on pulling out of the Paris Climate Accords. Do you think that that's a mistake, that he at least should be in the room?
I think Elon Musk, has had a lot of pressure. He's an electric car company. He makes solar panels and all that. It would be very hard for him to stay and work with the administration, given the enormity of pulling out of the Paris Agreement.
What would you tell the president right now, if you could, about all of his efforts when it comes to fixing the IT system and making sure that we can ensure against cyber attacks?
It's doable. We have the technology. We have the will. we have to come up with a plan that is scalable and that will be sustained over many years, because this is going to take a while. So this is not a political issue. This is a technology issue, and not only that, we have to do it because our government is falling so far behind.
And Eric was the first to tell you, the viewer, right here on this show months and months ago, this is the precise meeting that should be taking place. Eric Hippeau, good to see you.
Thank you.
Eric is with Lerer Hippeau Ventures. Smart guy. You're investing in all kinds of startups. Close